What's up, viewers? Today we're going to be learning about the top 10 stat lines in NBA history, part 1. Let's start off with the one that everybody knows. It's from the one and only Wilt Chamberlain. 100 points in a game. And, what most people don't know, he also had 25 rebounds in a game against the New York Knicks. He was on the Philadelphia Warriors at this time. They weren't playing their best basketball, but this game showed fans that Wilt Chamberlain is the GOAT. He was the greatest of all time at that time. Better than Bill Russell, a lot of people said. So what happened was they were playing in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I know, they're the Philadelphia Warriors versus the New York Knicks. Why don't they play in New York? Why don't they play in Philadelphia? They played in Hershey because the NBA said, I think we're going to get more ratings if we play in a city that doesn't have any MLB teams or any NFL teams. That's going to give us a lot more ratings. Sorry, NBA. That's not how it happened. That gave horrible ratings. And plus, practically nobody got to see Wilt Chamberlain do his outstanding feat of 100 points in a game. People had said, Wilt Chamberlain's gonna get 100 points in a game sooner or later. And that sooner or later was now. And they were in Hershey, Pennsylvania. They were getting ready for the tip. Wilt Chamberlain and the backup center for the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks, they were already skilled already. Their starting center was ailing, and Wilt Chamberlain was known to do some pretty awesome stuff. He'd already set the record for the most points in a single NBA game with 75. Kobe's topped that by now, but it's still an amazing feat. So, Wilt Chamberlain, he got the tip for the Warriors. Immediately, he scored. And you guys know the drill. He scored again. He scored again. Free throws. Scored again. Scored again. By the end of the first quarter, he had 22 points. Fans knew. Whoever was there knew. He's going to get 100 today. And those people were right. He kept scoring and scoring. He was in the 40s by halftime. And then by the third quarter, he went on a roll. He was at 70 points by the fourth quarter. And then he started to slow down. He was in the 80s. He slowed down. The Knicks defense found his weaknesses. Then the Philadelphia Warriors were like, let's just foul the Knicks right when they get the ball. Then we can give it right to Wilt, and then he can get 100. That strategy worked. He got to 100 points in dramatic fashion. 1 minute left in the game, and I was not alive. But that was a very impressive feat. Next, we have MJ scoring 63 points in a playoff game, the most ever by any player. He topped Elgin Baylor's record. Although Elgin Baylor, his record still stands. How, we may ask? Because he got the most in regulation in a playoff game and in the NBA Finals. Anyway, Michael Jordan, Game 1 against the Boston Celtics in Boston Garden. He went on a roll. They went in overtime. He scored 63 points. 63. He had a great stat line that game. One of the best I've ever seen. Even though I wasn't there, but I heard it. And that was incredible. And you may be asking, hey, I saw that MJ and the Bulls didn't win that game. Is that true? Last up piano player? Yeah, that's true. Surprising but true. In overtime, they lost 135 to 131. But you can't blame them for losing. They didn't have Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, or any of those players yet. And they were playing true Hall of Famers. Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale. I'm surprised that they even won that game. The Celtics did. They were Hall of Famers, and they still almost lost to Michael Jordan, who should have won that game. Next, we have rest in peace. We have Kobe. Rest in peace, my man. Kobe, that's a notable name. He is notable for one thing. He's notable for many things, but this is his main thing. Scoring 81 points in 2006 against the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, that's right, 81. Second most in NBA history. It's not the first most, but we gotta include Kobe here. It was still an impressive feat. And the Raptors, I'm not saying they were good that season, but the Raptors were okay, actually. They had a losing record, but they weren't as bad as some other teams. Kobe starred, and who knows what he could have done if he stayed in for like the last 5 minutes. He also had almost the same feat. He scored 63 points in 3 quarters, but they sat him out for the whole 4th quarter. People can imagine what he could have accomplished. 80, 90, possibly 100 if he had the chances. Now, we have Bill Russell. He didn't get any records in this game, but it's one of the greatest Game 7 performances in NBA history. Game 7 of the NBA Finals, they were facing Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, all those stars from the Lakers. Elgin Baylor had already posted the most points in a single playoff game. And that record still stands today for the most in a regulation and NBA Finals, like I told you. Bill Russell racked it up. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it. 30 points and 40 rebounds in an NBA Finals game. Game 7. And still they barely won that game. But Bill Russell did so much work. We had to include him in there. They won the Game 7 of the Finals. They beat their arch-rival Lakers. I feel sorry for the Lakers, though. They made it to the Finals a lot during Bill Russell's reign. And they lost every time. Eventually they won in 1972, but still, it doesn't really mean a lot. Next, we have the Admiral, David Robinson. He had a quadruple-double against the Pistons. The stat line was crazy. And the Pistons weren't a horrible team. They've never been a horrible team until now, but the Pistons actually, they'd had Isaiah Thomas, they had Chauncey Billups, not at the same time, but still. The Pistons have always been a great team, or at least a mediocre team. David Robinson just stole the show. He got a quadruple-double. Only 4 people have ever gotten a quadruple-double. And there's a funny story about a guy in high school. He got a quadruple-double, and he wasn't featured on SportsCenter. He was like, Michael Jordan didn't get a quadruple-double. Kareem didn't get a quadruple-double. That's true. But you're in high school, man. Just chill. These are NBA players. They're pros. They know what they're doing. And now, for our final of the day, Scott Skiles. Who was the piano player? Who's Scott Skiles? He wasn't a great player, but he set the record for the most assists in a game. And on top of that, he had 25 points. He had 25 points and 30 assists. He played for the Magic at that time. That is impressive. For a guy that I don't even know until, I was, a few years ago. That's impressive. I mean, I knew LeBron, I knew Kobe, I knew all those guys, but Scott Skiles? Who's that? I only knew him when Rajon Rondo had 27 assists in a game, and they said, and ESPN said, he almost had enough to beat Scott Skiles' record. And I was like, who the heck is Scott Skiles? Okay, so that's it for today. Love you, fans. We're on the road to 50 subscribers. As soon as we get to 100, we're going to have a special shout out, and you can be appeared on our video. Ta-ta for now. See you later, guys. Stay safe and have fun. And watch these videos. The more videos you watch, the more fire you're gonna see. Subscribe, remember, put a like, don't do a thumbs down. And be sure to watch the past videos that I've had, fantasy football, watch me whip, watch me nay nay. See you later, guys. We're posting a video later. Bye.